This episode is called The WackaDemiks Effect. The WackaDemiks Effect, I call it that because he does affect a lot of people in this content game. He got a lot of influence. And recent news is that Wack 100, his good friend, has told him to stop covering a big story that's regarding Loose Cannon. If you don't know who Loose Cannon is, he's been on the popular podcast platform, the No Jumper platform with Adam 22. He's a local Los Angeles hip hop rapper, and he's a social media um, light, if you want to call it that. But there was a sweep recently regarding big individual who's known with a lot of influence called Big U, right? Who's associated with the Rolling 60s Crips in LA. And from that happened, also Loose Cannon got incarcerated also. And a whole bunch of other individuals. Brick Baby from No Jumper, a host, he got locked up. And Loose Cannon's locked up. But right now, um, recently, Academics has got a message from WAC 100. WAC 100 is very angry about what's going on because people are calling his name. He's accusing a lot of people of calling his name, and he doesn't want Academics to amplify this anymore. He doesn't want Adam 22 to talk about this anymore because Wack doesn't like his name to be out there associated with this whole thing, even though he works at No Jumper. And not too long ago, there was a fight there outside of the studios. A guy named Marciano got beaten badly, and he's half paralyzed. So, Wack, right? He's part of No Jumper, and he talks a lot of stuff. A lot of people accuse Wack of being a snitch and being a Fed. But if he is a Fed, I will warn people that means he's with the law enforcement and nothing's going to happen to him. So his whole thing is there's been calls, jailhouse calls between Loose Cannon and his wife about this whole situation, talking about it ever since Loose Cannon been incarcerated. He's been doing these jailhouse calls with his wife, talking about what's going on behind bars. Recently, he heard news how Wack disrespected his girlfriend, and he didn't expect that from Wack. He thought Wack was cool with him, but Wack is not cool with him. Wack's for himself. Wack's been he got real angry recently on a live stream with academics, basically cursing her out, right? Bless up. What you saying? Live the plug ping. Yeah, he got really angry on a live stream with academics and academics saying, cool down. And recently he said, stop talking about it. Basically saying he's trying to protect him. He's trying to protect academics. And I guarantee he's telling that to Adam 22 to not talk about this. He doesn't want this talked about. But Loose Cannon, his side, is talking about it. You can't stop that. You cannot stop that. Loose Cannon is incarcerated right now. But what's going on is because Big U, right, who's the big crip, uh, is locked up. This is a federal case, and Loose Cannon, they're associating with it. That's what's going on. WAC 100's been talking a lot. Things been going back and forth. He's talked about Loose Cannon's wife. People are saying that they got some dirt on Wac's wife. You're hearing about people calling the feds on each other. I don't know. This is a whole mix up. This is like a soap. Like who's right and who's wrong. One thing I know, when it's dealing with law enforcement or a case like this, you should be quiet. But we're in a social media age where people just don't want to be quiet. But even if it's a serious case like this, because this is very serious, right? A very, very serious case. But WAC 100 and academics have a relationship, right? I mean, like a friendly relationship where they talk a lot. And WackaDemiks is a big talker. A lot of people don't like WackaDemiks. A lot of people like WackaDemiks. I could say the same for Whack 100. But Whack 100 is a very colorful character right now. He's the biggest news, but he has his connections to two big platforms, right? Adam 22's No Jumper and academics. So he's telling them to basically have a media block, not to speak about it. What do you think about that, people? He's telling people to stay quiet. Do not talk about this. Who's he protecting? Is he protecting these guys or is he protecting himself? Really look on it. He's attacking Loose right now. Big time. That's what he's doing. He's protecting Loose right now. A lot, right? That much like the black color. Yeah, he's protecting did I say Loose? No, he's not protecting Loose. He's not protecting Loose Whack at all. He was claiming that he was like his friend before, like he was making it like they're friendly. And I think Loose thought that Whack was his friend, right? But he's not his friend. He's clearly disrespecting him like crazy. He's disrespecting this man like crazy. He's bringing up a lot of news. He's bringing up a lot of news, right? Um, is this helping? No. WackaDemiks right now is the biggest character on the content. I could tell you, he's the biggest character on the content, and if he's silent, it's like it doesn't exist anymore. If he's silent, Adam 22, I don't think he really wants to talk about it because a lot of things happened on his platform outside. There was a fight, someone got beaten very bad, that they're half of themselves, I'm hearing, is paralyzed, can't move anymore, right? Whack works at No Jumper. I don't know if he was a witness. People are saying he's a witness. And yo, it's crazy. I just know that there's a big battle between Whack 100 right now and Loose Cannon. Wives are being brought into it, baby mothers are being brought into it. Um, Loose Cannon is speaking from prison, right, with his lady, and he's talking a lot, right? This is the thing though, what Whack wants. He wants him to incriminate himself, right? So it will deflect a lot of stuff off of himself. I'm talking about Whack. So me personally, I don't feel that it's a good tactic to be talking, because the more you talk, the more they're watching, the more they gather evidence, the more that you have a harder time to fight, right? That's what's going. That's just my opinion. People could do what they want, but Whack is working off of that right now. He is angry because his name is being brought up. You can't. It's being brought up everywhere. You could go right now on YouTube. People are making content like how I'm making content right now, and it's not a surprise to me because Whack been this character from the beginning. From I knew about this guy. To me, he's a talker. He knows a lot. Some people call him a rat. Some people will call him a fed. Like, like I'm not surprised. There's no loyalty from this guy. Like from the beginning, I don't know if Luce thought this guy was his friend or he could trust him. But I seen this a long time ago before I even knew about Loose Cannon. I knew that what this guy Whack, this character, he's a man not to f with. Just to see how he knows a lot of information, right? And now people are saying he got dirt. So far, the only dirt I'm hearing people bring up about him is what happened at No Jumper recently, right? He's an entrepreneur. a businessman. That's all I know about him, really. That he managed game, he managed Blueface, and I think Ray J he managed. That's all I really know. And he's in the hip hop atmosphere. He's in the community. That's all I really know about this guy. So, and besides the stuff what's going on now, and he's on No Jumper popular podcast, and he talks to academics. So he's telling academics to be silent. Don't be a mouthpiece for loose cannon at all. He's probably telling Adam 22 to not be a mouthpiece for loose cannon at all. Basically, boycott them. Boycott him and his wife or anybody who's associated with him. Don't mention them at all because it's not going to help you. He's making it look like he's trying to protect academics. And let's be real, academics is a big platform, right? Adam 22 is a big platform, and Wack has his platform. So when those guys go silent, which is hard for them not to speak about it because you got this other case, Big U, right now with the 20,000 wiretaps out there. Um, are they not going to talk about that? Because there's more news going to come out about this 20,000 wiretaps, and more people are going to be incarcerated. And who's going to flip? How much people? What are the other people going to speak about? What are they going to say? Because they're accusing, right, the individuals who are incarcerated for something. They're accusing them of something. They didn't just lock people up. They're accusing you of something. And if they wrongfully accuse you, they will get in trouble. The FBI. I never really seen it turned around the other way. Never really seen it. That'll make history, right? There's a couple of examples of staying quiet to defend yourself. Puff Daddy, he's in prison. You don't hear nothing from his mouth but maybe his lawyers if he wants to bring out a message, right? And he has serious charges on him. He's not speaking at all, but people been ripping him up in the like Puffy in the public eye, including academics, even Whack 100. They've been ripping him and talking about him like a lot of other people, but you never hear nothing coming from P Diddy's camp. So, like I'm saying, Whack 100 knows what he's doing. He got he got the playbook. He knows how to set up certain things. And if he is a Fed, nothing's gonna happen to him if he is a Fed. Think of it. But if he isn't a Fed and his name's all over this, down the line he will be probably in the same position as Big U and Loose Cannon, right? If he's not a Fed, down the line he'll be in the same position as Loose Cannon and Big U and the rest of them. But if he's a Fed and if he's a snitch, that snitches and what feds and rats, they work for the government or whoever's the authority, and they give something up for something. They give something up for something, not for nothing. If Wack is a Fed, if he is a snitch or an informer, look at all those names. He's giving something up for something. Now, a lot of these people, well, I shouldn't say these individuals are going back and forth on the internet, on Instagram, on YouTube. A lot of these content makers like Compton Rick Rock and SBGBTV, they're talking about it. Some are claiming they know all the news, all the tea about it. You get what I mean? So these guys are smaller content makers. So it's probably only the small content makers who are gonna talk about this if academics stops talking about it. If who else? Like I said, No Jumper, Adam 22 stops talking about it. It shall continue with the other content makers, right? But all these people saying they know this and they know that and they know a lot. Guess what? The FBI is watching. Law enforcement's watching. And if you claim you know all this stuff, they're going to question you. I don't know anything about, like, I will never ever claim I know all their business. I'm just reporting what I see out there, what is going on out there. That's all I'm talking about. I don't know every name, every character, the time this was going on. And like, the more you talk like that, the more, to me, you're incriminating yourself if you put yourself in that atmosphere. I don't know anything. The only thing I know is what's reported on the internet, right? Because these individuals put it on the internet. I would not know anything if people weren't, they weren't talking. All I would know is that these guys got picked up and they're incarcerated. That's it, right? Big U's a big character. What's known? He had, I think, he had a podcast. He's known to a lot of celebrities, and he popularized the check-in. Check-in meaning that when you come to the city, you better check in with the big boys, the gang. It's like extortion, or they're gonna take it from you. If you have stuff on social media talking about the check-in and giving a description of what you do, guess what? They are watching you. All these celebrities who got extorted, you think they never reported anything? Not one of them never told anybody, or they don't have any law enforcement that's their friends or their family? Come on, man. How dumb are some of these individuals? You think you were going to say you got to check in and you are extorting some celebrities, right? $1 million celebrities, and they are not going to try to defend themselves. That's why you hear it. See, I got that story coming up. That's where you're hearing about these 20,000 wiretaps. Now, is academics not going to speak about that? I don't know. I know that Whack 100 doesn't like Big U from a long time. He has a beef with Big U. I'm hearing that he got beat up by Big U. I don't know if that's true, but either way, he does not like Big U. So he probably wants that silent, right? He wants all of that silent. It's already out there, but he doesn't want no more talk of that, Big U. I mean, about Big U. Whack 100 wants everything silent. He wants um, Loose Cannon's wife to stop speaking about him, stop calling his name. I don't know if he's going to do that defamation of character stuff like Drake did, but he wants people stop speaking his name. Loose Cannon, he wants him to stop speaking his name, and he wants academics to stop reporting. He wants No Jumper to stop reporting anything on this case. So we shall see what happens, because things are coming out right now. They're saying that certain individuals or more people are going to be incarcerated um, for this whole indictment, right? You know why? Because people are talking. The more you talk, the more you give them more ammunition, right? That's what's going to happen. More weapons for the FBI. And they don't care, right? This is their work. They're making their own money from incarcerating people. So check it out. Whack 100 has the machine, like it or not. No Jumper, right? And academics. Those those guys are with him. They're not friends to nobody else. They're with Whack. They're not friends to nobody else. Remember that. They're loyal to Whack 100. They're not loyal to Loose Cannon. None of these guys. Remember that. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff to the network, right? Please like. Yeah, please like and comment and subscribe to the platform, right? Man, there's some funny people on this internet, man. I always come with some stupid comments, but I'm not even reading that. But yeah, Whack 100. Whack 100, he don't care about nobody but himself, right? Academics and Adam, they don't care about nobody but themselves, but they care about business relationships and they care about having a relationship with WAC 100. And WAC 100 knows that, right? He knows that. So I don't know what's going to come of people talking still on the internet about these cases or these situations. I don't see nothing positive coming from it. The best thing is silence, right? He's Wack wants it silent because his name's going all around the place, and maybe he's feeling the heat, which he is feeling the heat. He is feeling the heat because if people are accusing you of being a fed or informer, that means that guy who's incarcerated or the guys who are incarcerated are blaming you, and that's dangerous for WAC 100. If a lot of people, right, are accusing him of being behind a lot of these guys getting incarcerated, it's not comfortable for him right now. Trust me, it's not comfortable. He has to worry about people on the street and the feds. So he don't care. He's trying to survive. He's pushed in a corner. He don't care about loose cannon at all. He don't give a damn. Especially now what's going on, he's disrespecting loose cannon's wife or girlfriend, right? And after then there's all this mix up with loose loose's ex talking bad about him, and after then people are hearing about the news, the dirt, and then even Whack normally would love to talk about that, right? He may have talked about it, but now he's saying to the big media parties to be quiet. Is he gonna remain quiet? He's telling Whack, he's Whack is saying to Adam 22 right now, silence. He's saying to academics, silence. He's telling them to be quiet, not to say nothing. He's putting a media blocker out there, so that Loose Cannon won't really have a voice. But Loose Cannon has his girlfriend speaking on her platform and from the jailhouse. So that's not going to stop unless Loose wants to stop. That's not going to stop unless Loose wants to stop. So how are you going to stop that, Whack? Maybe he has a weapon to do that. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to stop that. But the best thing for Loose on his side is really look at this whole situation more clear and probably cut down on the talking, because obviously Whack knows something, especially if he's a Fed. If he's a Fed, if he's a snitch, he's with them people, right? Please like and subscribe, all that good stuff, right? So he does not care Whack right now. He's saving his own ass and he's using his weapons like academics and like Adam 22. He was very mad at academics for talking to Luce's wife, right? He was very angry because his name is coming up. He doesn't want that. And then on the opposite side, Luce is saying he has some dirt about Wax Lady, right? All I know, leave the baby mothers and the woman alone, because forget everything. When you start, as a man, start having any type of arguments with a lady on the street or even online, they're not going to take your side, like it or not. Even if you think that you're right, they'll never take a man's side. Even if you think you are right, they're never going to take a man's side. They're going to look at the situation differently. You seen what happened to Jonathan Majors, right? Lie. He even went to jail for that, Jonathan Majors. Even though the lady lied a lot, he that hurt his career. So what I'm saying is leave the ladies alone, because it's not a good look. Even if they're wrong, that's just how the world goes. Just look on the patterns, man. Just look on the patterns. But Anyways, though, this episode is called the WackaDemiks episode, and I'm your host, Sean Myrie of the Down to Earth Network. And please subscribe. Please subscribe. This story, there's a lot of mix up. There's a lot of characters, and Mr. Academics is told not to cover it anymore. I don't know if Adam 22 is going to listen to that because he got one of his guys, Brick Baby, who was a part of No Jumper. I don't hear Brick Baby calling, talking to them or anything, but he was a major character on the No Jumper show. So will that stop? Will all that, this whole case stop being mentioned? I don't know. It's very hard to say because it's a big story right now. Very controversial. Everybody's talking about it. Like I said, this guy, Compton Rick Rock, a big content maker, he's speaking about it. I think he's the biggest one right now if Academics is out. And this other guy named SBG BTV, he's talking about it, but he's not as big, really. He claims that Wack talks to him or he knows people who, I don't know. I don't even want to even talk about it. Like, no one is on Academics level or No Jumpers level, right? We all could talk about it as small content makers, but are we going to really have a big effect? Are you on the radar, right? This, how it really works is who you network with. That's how they listen to you. If you have nothing that they really value as a content maker, you could talk until you could talk forever. They don't care if you don't have any influence, because that's what's powerful. They don't care. That's why I'm saying Adam and Wack doesn't care when people call Adam a culture vulture or they call Wack a snitch or whatever all these names, because he's on a certain level that he does not. He has all these links. He's been networking with people and he has all this influence that he doesn't see you, right? He doesn't see you. He might. I mean, he doesn't see you a lot. He might see you, but not a lot. You're not really affected in that much. Even if you think you are, you have to have some influence. You have to have some networking with other individuals that he knows of, and then you probably will get his attention, right? But do you want bad attention or good attention? I don't know. If I have a platform, I'd rather the good attention than the bad attention, right? Wack put us on his platform, and you know what that was? That was a play because of what I was mentioning. That's it. He want that message to go to a certain individual because where I'm at, it can connect with that individual, right? And I know certain people who are connected to that individual. So that's what makes me, I guess, or our platform valuable to him because the individual from my city has beef with him. Top 5 has beef with Whack, and Top 5 has a connection to Academics, is friendly with Academics, and Whack is friendly with Academics. So they both have a connection. So when he hears a content maker from the same city of the guy who he has beef with, that's what makes it valuable to him. But if you don't, he don't care. If you don't have a connection, he does not care, right? So that's the facts. That's just my opinion. But people, please subscribe, like, and comment, all that good stuff. I got an episode coming up later tonight on Big U and the 20,000 wire taps. Whew, that's crazy. But yo, people, please subscribe. Please subscribe, like. The haters, right? And the appreciators, please subscribe. I'm out.